from University of Freiburg, Germany. Your Excellency, Associate Professor Dr. Suhaida Abdul Qadir, PhD, from University Putra, Malaysia. Your Excellency, Mrs. Anu Widayati, Doctor of Education, Chairperson of the Indonesian Accounting Educators Professional Alliance, Aprodiksi. Honorable Professor Dr. Sutana, Dean of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Indonesia. Mr. Agus Ulinduha, PhD, the head of International Summit on Science, Technology and Humanity, UMS, 2024. Dr. Suranto, head of Accounting Education Study Program. Lecturers of Accounting Education Study Program. Distinguished guests, delegates, and participants. Welcome to the third International Conference on Education, Innovation, and Social Science, ICEISS 2024, under the theme Education, Equity, and Access, Bridging Gaps, Empowering Communities, organized by Accounting Education Study Program, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. First of all, let's thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His mercy so we can attend and participate in this event. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for bringing us to the path of life. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great honor for me, Dani Evitasari, for hosting today's conference. Before we proceed to today's agenda, I would like to inform you the schedule as follows. First, opening. Second, reciting the Holy Quran. Third, singing the national anthem and Mars Muhammadiyah Sang Surya. Fourth, greetings. The first greeting will be delivered by the conference chair of ICEISS 2024. The second greeting is from the Dean of the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. The third greeting is from the head of ICEISS UMS 2024. The first speech is from Director of UMS, followed by the official opening of the ICEISS 2024. Fifth, the core event of third ICEISS 2024, the panel session. Sixth, closing. Seventh, the parallel session. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the first agenda is opening. Let's start this conference by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. The second agenda is reciting the Holy Quran, which will be recited by Briliansa Ramalutfi. Briliansa, you may take the floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardh. Wa in tubdu ma fi anfusikum aw tukhfuhu yuhasibukum billah fayaghfiru liman yasha'u wa yu'adhibu man yasha'. Wallahu ala kulli syai'in qadir. الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين صدق الله العظيم. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Third agenda is singing the national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and Mars Muhammadiyah Sang Surya. Dear honorable guests and participants, please stand up. Para hadirin dimohon berdiri.
Indonesia tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku.
Dear honorable guests and participants, please be seated. Para hadirin dipersilakan duduk kembali. Thank you. The fourth agenda is greetings. For the first greeting, we would like to invite Mr. Trinur Wahyudi, Master of Management, to deliver his speech as Conference Chair of Church ICEISS 2024. Mr. Wahyudi, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Vice Rector Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Profesor Dr. Harun Prayitno, Honorable Head of Science, Engineering, Technology, and Humanity, ICEISS 2024, Mr. Agus Ulimha, PhD, Honorable Vice Dean of Education Faculty, Ms. Mauli Habbat, PhD, Honorable Head of Accounting Education Department, Mr. Dr. Suranto. Our distinguished guests, respected colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. First of all, let us praise Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, for His mercy and blessings we can attend today's program. Secondly, let us convey our solitude and gratitude to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May peace be upon him. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am honored to welcome you to the third International Conference on Education, Innovation, and Social Science 2024 with the topics Education, Equity, and Access, Bridging Gaps, Empowering Communities. The aims of this conference are to present to address key factors in promoting education equity, from tackling socio-economic disparities and embracing cultural sensitivity to harnessing technology and community partnership, while evaluating policies that can make education more accessible and inclusive for all. For your information, our third conference is supported by International Summit of Science, Engineering, Technology, and Humanity, ICEISS 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to inform you that we have 60 papers focusing on education innovation and social science. We are honored to have our honorable speakers, Professor Dr. Judith Slade from University of Freiburg, Germany, Associate Professor Suhaida Abdul Qadir, PhD from University Putra, Malaysia, and Ms. Ani Widayati, Doctor of Education, Chairperson of the Indonesian Accounting Educators Professional Alliance, Aprodiksi, as our keynote speakers. Also, we would like to extend our appreciation to all presenters, participants, and invited guests for taking your precious time to participate in this international conference. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, allow me to indicate the support from all committee members from Education Faculty and Accounting Education Department, who have been working hard to make this conference happen. Finally, I hope that you will find the conference both enjoyable and valuable. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
The second greeting will be delivered by Professor Dr. Sutama as Dean of the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education UMS. However, in this occasion, Mrs. Mauli Hawat Hikmat PhD will be delivering the speech as first Vice Dean of the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. Mrs. Mauli, the floor is yours.
Conference is education equity and access, bridging gaps and community empowerment. Education equity and access are foundational to building a just and inclusive society. By addressing the barriers that prevent students from receiving a quality education, we can work towards a future where every individual has the opportunity to thrive academically and socially. So it is imperative that educators, policymakers, and communities collaborate to create equitable education systems that empower all students to reach their full potential. So through this conference, we will engage in thought-provoking sessions, share groundbreaking research, and explore innovative strategies for bridging gaps and empowering community to support education equity and access. As we look forward to the sessions ahead, let us keep in mind the importance of inclusivity and diversity in education. Together, we can create an environment where every voice is heard and every idea is valued. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to all the organizers, the committee and volunteers who have worked tirelessly to make this conference possible. Your dedication is truly commendable. Thank you for being here, and I wish you all a fruitful and inspiring conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the speech, Mrs. Mauli. The third greeting is from the representative. The third greeting is from the head of the International Summit on Science, Technology and Humanity UMS 2024, which will be delivered by Mr. Agus Ulinuha, PhD. Mr. Agus Ulinuha, PhD, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in wa ba'du. First of all, I would like to express my respect to the Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. At this opportunity, it is represented by the Vice Rector, Professor Dr. Harun Joko Prayatno, the Dean Faculty of Education and Teacher Training UNS, and at this opportunity, it is represented by Ibu Mauli, Ibu Dr. Mauli, the Chairman of the conference, the keynote speakers of this conference, and in particular, the presenters and participants of this conference. Alhamdulillah, many thanks to Allah that has granted all the things where it's the only that makes this conference takes place. On behalf of ICEISS committee, I would be happy to have your attention for the speech that I'm going to deliver. One of activities of our university anniversary is hosting the International Summit on Science, Technology, and Humanity, or ICEISS. This year, ICEISS covers 13 international conferences. One of the conferences is the International Conference on Education, Innovation, and Social Sciences, ICEISS 2024. The topic of this year ICEISS is Education, Equity, and Access, Bridging Gaps, Empowering Communities. This topic is very strategic to support ensuring every single person has the same access for education, thereby empowering themselves and together developing their country. It is our hope that this conference will raise brilliant ideas to make this goal happen. I would like to thank the keynote speaker for the conference. We got 3 distinguished speakers. We do believe that we will get bright and fruitful ideas from the speakers. We do believe that to organize this conference, we got the support and contribution from committee members and many people in this university. They have been working tirelessly for the success of this wonderful event. Therefore, I would like to gratefully appreciate their support and contribution. Moreover, I should not disregard the university management that fully support this conference, such that this might be successfully carried out. In particular, I'm in debt to thank to the faculty team who has given support and motivation to this conference. It is our hope that this conference will be running well, and the papers may be published as soon as possible in the journal and index proceeding. More than that, the idea and finding discussed in this conference will have the opportunity for further improvement and application. At the end, I would like to thank all participants and people attending this conference and joining the keynote speech session this afternoon. Thank you very much. I hope you find this conference interesting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Thank you for the speech. The first speech is from Director of UMS, or the representative, followed by the official opening of ICEISS 2024. In this occasion, Professor Dr. Harun Joko Prayatno, as first Vice Rector of UMS, will be delivering the speech. Professor Dr. Harun Joko Prayatno, the time is yours.
Rasulullah, Allahumma sholli ala Muhammad wa ala. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon from Solo, Central Java, Indonesia. First and foremost, all thanks and praise is due to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most gracious and the most merciful for His mercy and blessing in giving us this opportunity to gather at the third International Conference on Education, Innovation, and Social Science 2024. Firstly, as Vice Academic Rector Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, I would like to offer a warm welcome to our honorable speakers, Professor Dr. Judith Skille from University of Frankfurt, Germany, and then to Associate Professor Suhaida Abdul Qadir, PhD from University Putra, Malaysia, and then the Honorable Ibu Ani Widayati, PhD as a chairperson of the Indonesian Accounting Educators Professional Alliance, let's call it APRODIXI. Thank you so much. And then the Honorable the Dean, Education Faculty, and then the Honorable Head of ICEISS, Pak Agus Bulinoha, and the honorable presenters, of course, and the participants and invited guests. It is a great pleasure and honor for our university to host this international conference in conjunction with acceleration toward the world-class university in 2029. Secondly, UMS with more than 40,000 student body, 12 different faculties, and 83 study program is currently one of the leading universities internationally recognized. Among these faculties, education faculty, of course, is the oldest faculty in UMS and currently has 19 departments with excellent national accreditation, more 9,000 student body now. Thirdly, the conference theme, education, equity, and access, bridging gaps, empowering communities, addresses a critical and urgent need in today's global society. Despite significant progress in education over the years, disparities and access to quality education continue to exist, creating barriers for individuals and communities, especially those from marginalized or underprivileged background. One of the fundamental principles of the just and equitable society is ensuring that every individual has equal opportunities to access education and develop their full potential. However, various factors contribute to the persistent gaps in education equity, including socio-economic disparities, geographic isolation, cultural biases, inadequate infrastructure, and limited resources. Thirdly, these disparities not only hinder personal growth and development, but also perspective, cycles, and inequality and marginalization. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds often face challenges such as lack of access to quality schools, qualified teachers, educational materials, and supportive learning environment. This not only affect their academic performance, but also limit their future prospect opportunities for social and economic advancement. Addressing this gap requires a multifaceted approach that goes beyond traditional education strategies. It involves understanding the root causes of inequality, advocating for policy changes, mobilizing resources, empowering communities, and implementing innovative solutions that cater to the specific need of the diverse learners. The paper of this conference appears to be rich in content and subject to education and social science in a very wide perspective. Therefore, I believe it will give a full and valuable insights for further development in our country, Indonesia, and in the world. On this occasion, I'd like to convey my gratitude to the committee who has put great effort to make this conference possible. Once more again, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all, and I wish you all have an enjoyable and fightful this conference. Finally, let's open the third international conference on education, innovation, and social science 2024, hosting by Accounting Education Department, Faculty of Education, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah wa ridha wal inayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to our main agenda, the conference. For panel session, the first speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Suhaida Abdul Qadir, PhD, from University Putra, Malaysia. The second speaker is Professor Dr. Judith Sleyen from University of Freiburg, Germany. The third speaker is Mrs. Ani Widayati, Doctor of Education, Chairperson of the Indonesian Accounting Educators Professional Alliance, APRODIXI. The panel session itself will be led by our moderator, Ms. Titi Ulfatun, Master of Education. First of all, allow me to introduce her. She's a lecturer at the Accounting Education Study Program, Faculty Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Indonesia. Ms. Titi Ulfadun is a distinguished alumna of Hiroshima University, Japan, where she completed her master's degree in educational development. Her academic journey is a testament to her dedication and passion for advancing the field of education. Next month, Ms. Titi Ulfatun will embark on a new chapter as she begins her PhD studies at the University of Warwick in the United Kingdom. She has been awarded scholarship for both her master's and PhD studies by the Indonesian government through the prestigious LPDP program. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Titi Ulfatun, Master of Education. Ms. Titi Ulfatun, you might take the floor.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Danica Safi. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a great honor to welcome you all to this panel session at the third International Conference on Education, Innovation, and Social Science, or ICEISS 2024. My name is Titi Ulfatun, and I will be your moderator for today's discussion. So, this year's conference theme, Education, Equity, and Access, Bridging Gaps, Empowering Communities, invites us to explore the pressing need to bridge educational disparities across socioeconomic, geographic, and community lines. It is through such a discourse that we can identify actionable strategies to ensure that every learner, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to succeed. We are privileged to have three outstanding experts with us today, each of whom will share their insights on education equity from different perspectives. I'm confident that their expertise will spark engaging discussions and inspire meaningful ideas for action. Our speakers will help us to explore innovative strategies and tools that can help bridge these gaps, empowering communities worldwide. Now, before we begin, let me outline how this session will proceed. So each speaker will have approximately 40 minutes for their presentation. Following that, we will have a question and answer session for about 30 minutes. And finally, we will wrap up with a brief conclusion. During the presentations itself, the participants are welcome to type their questions in the chat box for the Q&A session. So, let's start with our first speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Suhaida Abdul Qadir from University Putra, Malaysia. Hello, Dr. Suhaida. Assalamualaikum. Yes, of course, we can hear you. So let me give a brief introduction about her. So Dr. Suhaida currently works at the Department of Science and
Technical Education, Faculty of Educational Studies, University Putra, Malaysia. She gained her PhD in Technical and Vocational Education from UPM and a Master of Education in Business and Marketing Education from University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Her research interest is evaluating entrepreneurship education programs and issues in educational administration. Currently, her work focuses specifically on teaching and learning in entrepreneurship education and educational leadership. She has published many articles on indexed journals. She can be contacted by email on suhaida@upm.edu.my. Her presentation today is titled Implementing Inclusive Education Policies, Strategies for Addressing Socioeconomic Disparities. So Dr. Suhaida, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon to all honorable and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it gives me great pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. Okay, first of all, I would like to get the permission to share my slide tonight.
Yes, sure. Let me find first. Yeah. So please offer the committee. Could you please? Okay. So yeah. Yes, we can see it. Dr. Zahida.
Okay, just adjust. Hold on. Okay. So the title that I would like to share with you is about implementing inclusive education policies, strategies for addressing socio-economic disparities. Okay. So the outline here, my discussion will be as shown. Okay. First, we like to understand the socioeconomic disparities in education, and then I would like to share with you the framework for equity in education proposed by OECD 2007. And then we have a look what are the current inclusive education policies from different countries, and then the challenge and barriers to effective implementation, and recommendations for future policy development, and finally the conclusion. Okay, first of all, I would like to share the data based on PISA conducted by OECD, okay, 2006. Okay, here it show the comparison. Okay, the chances of students with lowest SES, okay, to be lowest math performance here. Okay, compared to students with high SES. Okay, for example, how to read this data. Okay, we can see here, for example, in Iceland, the first one, okay, it showed that a student with low SES, okay, is 2 times more likely to be a low mathematics achiever than a student with high SES. So number 2 is shown here. Number 2 times, okay, the chances, okay, to be lowest math performance compared to students with high SES. Okay, compare, and the highest one is Belgium here. Okay, is more than 5 times. Okay, the chances that students with lowest SES to be lowest math performance. So it showed that the correlation, okay, as we know, okay, based on this the evidence, it showed that it's really difficult for low SES student, okay, to perform, okay, in their learning. Okay, so for I would like for the objective of my session, my sharing. First, I would like to explore, okay, to explore the role of inclusive education policy, okay, in reducing social economic disparities. So as we mean that, okay, the importance of the policy, okay, to help the low SES students. Okay, and then what are the strategies, the possible strategies to ensure these policies effective? Okay, so that the whatever recommendation about the policy, it is won't be on paper only. Okay, hopefully. Just a revisit, okay, so that we have a common understanding in terms of what does it mean socio-economic status. Okay, so in general, okay, it consists of income, okay, educational attainment of the students' parents, okay, occupational prestige and subjective perceptions of social status and social class. Okay, so it means that when we conduct the research, okay, because any policy, any decision, even at the school level, okay, we need to be based on research, okay, need to be based on evidence. So, for example, in here in this context, so usually SES will be measured by family income, parental education levels, access to learning materials, and their living conditions. Okay. So here, okay, how is the current situation of that will give the impact to the SES, okay, socio-economic status, that make the gap become wider, okay, between the low SES and high SES. First, it's about the inequality within countries and between countries. The economy, okay, the economic growth, okay. It means that the gap between the rich and the poor continues to expand. Okay, that's what happened now. Okay, and then as we know, the actually from the positive side, globalization is good, but we also need to aware that the globalization also give impact to other categories, because it does not everyone, okay, or not every country, okay, can benefit the impact of globalization evenly. Okay, so the third is about digital divide, as we already aware, understand about the access to technology and digital literacy very significantly across SES. In the context of students, it's very give the impact, okay, for the according to relation to the technology. And finally, based on the impact of the pandemic, okay, so the economy is totally different before the pandemic. So all the situation here give impact to make the gap is wider to low SES and compared to high SES community, parents, and also will give, and it will impact the education. Okay. So in terms of that, it means that okay, it means that the student, as mentioned by the by others, okay, it means that the impact on education access and outcomes means that limited access to quality education. Okay, there will be academic achievement gaps, and in the long-term outcomes, they have the difficulty to get the good job, okay, in terms of career, because these students, the graduate, they have to compete with high SS students and graduates, okay. So now it's come to the important of we need to have was the policy, okay, the inclusive education policy, so that how we can reduce, okay, the disparities, okay, the gap of what happening now, okay. So inclusive education involves, okay, ensuring that, okay, all students, regardless of their abilities or socioeconomic status, okay, have access to high quality education within a supportive and accommodating environment, okay. Maybe some country, okay, when they define the inclusive for the special needs, but now we already accept that the inclusive education, okay, is about other factors also. Okay, here in terms of the policy, okay, based on the data, okay, research conducted by OECD, okay, so there are three components, okay. What kind of policy, okay, that to stimulate, okay, so that we have equity in education, okay. Three components here. First, in terms of the design of the education system itself, okay, the structure of education. So there are three recommendation here in terms of education system. Okay, the first is the suggestion is in terms of, I mean, that the country, okay, the government, okay, first the policymakers, okay, it is suggested that to limit early tracking and streaming, okay. Actually, in just to share, okay, in Malaysian context, okay, there is still a tendency, okay, to have the streaming, okay, streaming at the secondary level, in that secondary school. Why we have to why it is recommend to limit early tracking and streaming? It means that we does not give the low SES student the opportunity, the chances for them, okay. We must help first, okay, whatever, okay, based on other component in terms of practices, okay, because when we already set the early tracking and streaming, so the students already have the limit, okay, the limit career path for them. Okay, the second is to provide attractive alternatives for them, okay, either to further the studies, okay, or if they want to after graduation, after the compulsory education, okay, so they want to work or to have in vocational and technical education, but not as early before that, okay. And the third one is in terms of offer second chances for education, okay. Usually this refers to the senior generation, okay. Sometimes, for example, their parents, okay, their parents, so that they have the adult, okay, they have the chance, okay, to upgrade their qualification. Okay, so we have to give the chance here. And in terms of the second components, practice, it's refer to the practice in school and the practice out of school. Okay, so here there are three recommendation here. Okay, the first is to identify and support students who fall behind. Okay, in the classroom. So in terms of here at the schools and the role of schools and teachers. Okay, to give the intervention, to give the support that we will have a look at what are other countries implement in their country. Okay, then strengthen school and home links, which mean the parent engagement. Okay, and also respond to diversity and inclusion needs in terms of in class. Okay, teaching strategies, other and also the support service. Okay, support service. And the third element is about resourcing in terms of expenditure here. Okay, the resourcing here actually we can see that either at the policy makers, okay, at the government in terms of the budget, and also at the school levels. Okay, which mean we need to prioritize strong education for all. Okay, and so what are the priority? Okay, for government, what are the it means that the most priority is the early childhood education. Okay, the budget and should be more for that. Okay, and also then direct resources to high need students and regions. It means that extra resource to help. Okay, to give extra help, not necessarily in terms of cash, but for the activities, the support, the services. Okay, they need the budget, extra budget. Okay, either for the students, okay, individual in the school, or the school itself. Okay, because of the location. Okay, and then we need to, it is recommended to set concrete targets for equity. We have to target what we need to achieve. Okay. So here I would like to share the inclusive education policies from different countries. Okay, this is according to the countries in Asia. Okay, so currently, actually, each countries already implement the inclusive education policies. So it is just a matter of how effective the implementation. What are the problems about that? Okay, and also these are the policy from other countries also. Okay, I mean that what are their focus? Okay, their focus, their inclusive education policies focus on which elements? Okay. Okay. Now, in terms of how we need to, what we can do, okay, the strategy, okay, so that it can be more effective, more efficient, okay, so that we can achieve the target. Okay, in terms of in general, actually, yes, it is good for us to get the best practices, but we need to adopt in our situation, in our context, the country, because every country have a different context, background and culture. Okay, so in terms of policy development, okay, what we can do here is we need to create, okay, and to identify, okay, the policy that reflect the above recommendations and integrate them into national education strategies. It means that make it as really a priority in terms for our in our education policy. And the second component is the importance of training and professional development, okay, for educators, okay, and administrators, so that whatever policy, whatever strategy, okay, they have the competency, the awareness, the knowledge to support the implementation of the recommendation. And in terms of resource allocation, okay, in Malaysia context, okay, the Ministry of Education, they allocate the budget for the to reduce the gap in terms of SES. However, okay, it finally it's about the role of schools, okay, to identify, to propose the budget and with the data, the evidence, how much they need, what kind of strategy, activities, okay. So here it is allocate financial resources based on the priorities outlined in the recommendations. And finally, okay, the stakeholder engagement. Okay. And the important here, okay, is usually we overlook about in terms of evaluation and feedback, because by nature as a human it's very difficult for us, okay, to accept whatever our weakness. Okay, so by the way, we need to conduct the evaluation and get the feedback for whatever policy and strategy. So it start with, we need to establish, okay, the indicator, okay, the metrics and the indicators for the evaluation, and then from time to time to conduct the regular evaluation. Okay, of course, usually we have tendency, okay, to implement whatever program, but to have the proper and regular evaluation is challenging to us. Okay, and next is to to share the findings. However, actually, to share the findings from evaluation with stakeholders and the public, actually it depends the culture of the country, okay, the context, because sometimes maybe it's not suitable, okay, to share the findings of the evaluation to the public, because the possibility that it can be manipulated by other other entity for their own purpose. Okay, and then based on the evaluation result, okay, we need to adjust and refine the policy. Okay, by the way, I just would like to add, actually, when we discuss the policy just now, actually, it also apply the policy, this policy at the school level also. It does not necessarily at the policymakers only, but the administrator at the school also have the policy here. So this evaluation and feedback also is applicable at the education institution level also, either at the school level or at the higher education institutions. And then based on that, okay, based on the result of the evaluation, that's why it is important for us to conduct the evaluation properly, okay, so that either the government or the school, okay, can offer additional support and resources, okay. For example, here for the school, and within in the school itself, okay, what other administrator can offer the support for teachers, okay, because they are the implementers, okay. And finally, to implement the accountability, okay, the who is accountable, but we the issue, however, we need to aware that the accountability here doesn't mean that it must show based on the performance, but accountability here more about to what extent the process of the implementation, okay, is being conducted, okay, and there's and taking care the policy, because it is unfair, okay, to punish. I mean that to make school accountable to get the high performance, yet that school have many low SES students. Okay. However, there's a challenge here, okay, and barriers, okay. For example, as a resource constraint, okay, and so we need stakeholder involvement, okay, and also the challenge in terms of resistance to change, because usually we like to be in a comfortable zone, okay, because whatever the strategy here, actually we need to do beyond, okay, beyond our current effort, and sometimes we don't get the recognition, okay, for the effort to help to implement the policy and strategies. So we need to have to build the awareness, okay, because the impact, okay, the impact of if we just ignore the inequity in education, the impact is to the society and also to the nation. And finally, it's about the systematic barriers. It means that when we SES is not about education itself, okay? It's also in because it's about the employment, about the health, okay, about the society itself, okay. So the barriers, another barriers is the inconsistencies of the policy, okay. For example, okay, usually, okay, we would like to, for example, okay, in a measure context, each school, okay, is measured, or the indicator of the school performance. One of the indicator is based on their average, okay, the grade average. So when when the school, okay, rural school, okay, that have many students with low SES, the possibility of that school will have the not so good the average, okay, the point average. So in terms of the budgeting or what the budget, the allocation, so it should not be all recognition. It should not be based on that. Okay, the policy. Okay, inconsistency. But actually, it is been discussed a lot. Okay, by the scholars. So finally, okay, the recommendation here. Okay, we need to have a holistic approach in terms of policy, not only in education because it also affect the heart, okay, also, and we need to have very specific targeted intervention, not as a blanket program, okay, and also to have from time to time to have the innovative approaches, okay, in terms of using the technology, integrate the technology, okay, and also in terms of the curriculum itself, we need to review so that it will be more inclusive curriculum, and of course it must be collaborative efforts. In Malaysia context currently, okay, now the government, okay, through the Ministry of Economy, okay, they open the grants, the allocation, the grants to in many sectors, okay. The purpose to improve the socio-economic status, okay. The grant, the intervention, okay, the innovation for the academician, okay, for the society, so that everyone are aware and have intention how to improve the society. So the conclusion here, it shows actually the importance of inclusive education policy in addressing socio-economic disparities, okay? And we already discussed several strategies for creating more equitable educational opportunities for all students, okay? Especially low SES students, and educators, policymakers, and stakeholders need to collaborate. Okay, I think I would like to end my sharing here, okay, because when I thinking the low SES student, the rural area, I feel so that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Suhaida, for those enlightening strategies on addressing socioeconomic disparities. So Dr. Suhaida here mentioned about the implementation and monitoring strategies that covered four aspects. For the first is policy development, and second is training and professional development. The third one is resources allocation, and the last one is stakeholder engagement. She also mentioned about the challenges and barriers in the implementation and also proposed some recommendations for future policy developments. Thank you so much, Dr. Suhaida. Now, we move to our next speaker, Professor Dr. Judith Slee from the University of Freiburg, Germany. Good afternoon from Indonesia, Prof. Judith.
Hello, good
Hello.
morning from Germany.
Okay, good morning. Yeah, so let me share with you first a brief introduction of Professor Judith. So Professor Judith is a professor of sociocultural anthropology at the University of Freiburg, Germany. She received her PhD in 1987 and finished her habilitation in 1997. She has published widely on the topics of religious dynamics, cultural politics, globalization and transcultural issues, gender, and the anthropology of disaster, the anthropology of with-related notions of nature, and on the role of paranormal or alternative healers in post-pandemic times. Her main expertise is on Indonesia and Southeast Asia. Together with colleagues from Gajah Mada University, she developed a teaching model for transnational, collaborative, and reciprocal research. She can be reached by email on judith.slay@ethno.uni-freeburg.de. And for today's agenda, we will be speaking on harnessing technology for education equity, digital solutions for overcoming geographic barriers. So, Professor Judith, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for this kind introduction, and thank you so much for inviting me to this conference, which is already a wonderful example for overcoming geographical barriers, because we would not meet today if we would not have Zoom and the possibilities that opens this to all of us is still quite exciting. So it's a pleasure to meet you, although we are all aware of the fact that we would prefer a meeting in presence where we could see as whole persons and not only on screen. But yeah, it's much better than nothing, and we will do our very best to have a vivid exchange, and I hope that you will ask questions and we can have a discussion afterwards. It was a pleasure also to listen to Dr. Suhaida's talk, and I think what I will present today is a very practical example from our experience that hopefully gives you a kind of inspiration or suggestion how or what you could do, what we could do in order to overcome both socioeconomic and geographical or regional borders and barriers. So first, let me also share the screen, please. I hope it works.
Yes, it works. We can see it now, Professor?
Yeah, can you see it completely?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, the title actually was defined by the organizers, but I was quite happy to think of what I could contribute to this topic. And yeah, of course, I first thought, why do they invite a senior anthropologist from Germany in the present digital age where we have access to global knowledge via open artificial intelligence? And I typed the title of this talk into ChatGPT, and the following appeared. I quote ChatGPT, an artificial intelligence. They say, education inequity, particularly due to geographical barriers, remains a significant challenge globally. So beyond what Dr. Suhaida already explained to us, now we come to the global level. That was my intervention. So I continue with the quotation. Rural and remote areas often lack access to quality educational resources, experienced teachers, and advanced learning opportunities. However, technology offers powerful tools to bridge these gaps and create more equitable educational opportunities for all students. This is on ChatGPT, followed by a list of sophisticated digital tools and platforms such as e-learning platforms, virtual classrooms, mobile learning, and so on that can be used. what I want to talk about today are not these manifold technical opportunities, nor will I elaborate on theoretical interventions that were developed in the last decades aiming at an epistemological decolonization of knowledge, also a very important topic, of course. Although these tools and approaches are extremely important, there is still a lack of methodological, so more reflexive reflections, and even more strikingly, there is still a lack of practical methods for learning and conducting research that overcomes geographical barriers and national borders. And most important, that opens up possibilities for transformative experiences, so that students, both in schools and at universities, are transforming by transformative experiences, also open up their minds and their ambitions towards a more or a better world. So, these transformative experiences should today overcome all geographical barriers and also national borders. Therefore, I rather today wish to share what we, students and colleagues from UGM, also UNHAS in Makassar, and at times also UI, Universitas Indonesia in Jakarta. So what we learned in 20 years of international reciprocal collaboration and on equal footing in higher education. So I'm not talking about school, I'm talking about universities, but I hope that you can use that example and expand it to possibilities that we have also for school students. We developed and practiced a very simple model for our anthropology and international relations students and early career researchers, PhD students from Indonesia and Germany, conducting fieldwork together. 1 year in Indonesia and in the following year in Germany. That's what I call reciprocity. We have been doing this continuously since 2004. And I see this as a model for the future of social sciences in general. And I would be happy to discuss with you to what extent this model can inspire you to apply it in the context of other educational fields, as I said before. Rethinking research and teaching methods and creating borderless reciprocal research interaction always aims to generate more inclusive and equitable educational opportunities for all, as Dr. Suhaida already mentioned before. What role can digitalization play in this context? In our case, digitalization was boosted enormously and to a very unexpected extent by the COVID-19 pandemic. I wish to discuss the opportunities, challenges, and limits we faced and ask how far digitalization can contribute to engaging learning experiences in collaborative constellations. So my objectives are, first of all, to introduce our international reciprocal tandem model, as I already started to do, then to reflect our experiences with digitalization, and finally, ultimately, to advocate reciprocity and flexibility. Thus, let me begin with a short description of our international reciprocal tandem research training program. In 2004, I took a group of German anthropology students to Yogyakarta, and they did field research exercises together with students from UGM, from Universitas Gadjah Mada. jointly supervised by colleagues from UGM and me. For 4 weeks, unfortunately, we did not have funding for a longer stay. So for 4 weeks, the students explored self-selected topics in tandems, together, German, Indonesian, discussed and presented their results and experiences in workshops, and in many cases they became also friends. This is also a crucial aspect. In the following year, the Indonesian students, accompanied by their lecturers, visited Freiburg in Germany, and the Indonesian-German tandems explored equivalent topics in Germany. So, co-creation of research and co-production of knowledge was combined with learning about both self and others, and translating across different languages and meanings, as well as reflecting and overcoming these boundaries and categorizations. The one who was a foreign anthropologist in 1 year, an outsider, an outside researcher, became the, we call it native anthropologist, an insider in the following year then. This is called positionality. Not only, but especially in the social sciences, we always ask questions and do research from a specific standpoint, such as national, disciplinary, class, ethnic, gender, age, religion, and many other intersecting standpoints and personal experiences. Positionality shapes epistemology, methodology, and perspectives. However, if we combine the perspectives of diverse scholars and agents and students, our insights and results become much richer and more complete. Yet, most important in our model is that reciprocity was combined with collaboration. We do not only swap or exchange perspective, but bring them together. We juxtapose, we reflect, and we discuss them and learn from each other. Just a few impressions from our workshops and from the students discussing their experiences and results. So, of course, it's always combined with excursions and with doing things together as a group, not only in tandems and small teams. So this was in Makassar, in Ramang-Ramang, and this was in Germany in a theme park where traditional houses are, Black Forest houses are displayed. So this doesn't just apply for university students in social sciences. I would like to plead for openness and creativity in creating collaborations in order to overcome all kinds of barriers. The rural-urban barriers that were mentioned already, male, female, Muslim, Christian, upper class, lower class, global south, global north, and so on. In all learning situations, it's useful to stimulate students to collaborate. To come back to our Freiburg UGM program and make it more concrete, let me briefly mention the topics that we selected as umbrella topics. Each tandem and team had the freedom to select a specific issue within these frameworks. These are just a few examples for that. So in the beginning, an umbrella topic was academic culture. Actually, this was one of my favorite umbrella topics because then we were also the subject and the object of research. So we did that in Jogja, where our students were extremely surprised that there were so many universities private universities, religious-based universities, and state universities, whereas the Indonesian students were very surprised that we had basically only one university in Freiburg, and apart from that, just 2 universities for applied sciences. I will not go into all these other topics. I just want to mention that in all cases, the students, as I said already, they selected their own subtopics, and they did it together in the beginning in tandems, 2 people, and later in larger teams of 3 and sometimes even 4 students from Indonesia and from Germany. If you want to see all these specific topics, you can check it on our homepage, and I will be happy to share that with you later. So, for several years, this tandem also often extended to teams, as I said. This tandem model integrated also students from political science and international relations. According to them, these colleagues and students, they benefited greatly from learning qualitative ethnographic approaches. I don't know how familiar you are with ethnographic fieldwork, and that's why I would briefly like to mention what that means. And I think you could also use these basic ideas for school students and for students of other disciplines, or for KKN, or for other field experiences that students can make in Indonesia. So anthropologists mainly work with qualitative and participatory methods, such as participant observation, narrative interviews, so that means open interviews, informal conversations, just chatting with each other. We are attentive to what others say and what they do. At the same time, we do our very best to contextualize the phenomena we are exploring in order to gain contextual understanding. This is based on immersion in the respective social contexts. Immersion means that we work, or that we get involved as whole persons, cognitive and emotional, experiential and rational, with our bodies, senses, and minds. Continued ethnographic immersion also helps to bridge gaps between scientific practices and the lived reality of the participating communities. Collaborations on an equal footing does not only refer to students or researchers working in tandems or teams, but should also integrate the non-academic public in knowledge production. We are not working with informants or respondents, how we called that formerly, but with, how we call it now, research participants and partners. It's crucial in qualitative research not to stick to a research proposal, to the things that we have anticipated before, but to be flexible, ethically responsible, sensitive, empathetic, and to respond to every opportunity to listen to new voices and involve new partners that we probably have not thought of before. Thus, a tandem partner does not necessarily have to be a fellow student or peer. It can also be an engaged research participant who contributes his or her insights and experiences, and as a co-researcher takes part in the research just for a while. It's an achievement when the boundaries blur. Our model could be used by and applied with various publics beyond academy, bringing together different forms of knowing. All in all, the example at hand emphasizes student as well as collaborative community engagement and empowerment, grounded in relationships of mutual trust. I assume you won't be surprised when I explain in the following that the pandemic and its consequences have been a major challenge for this program. We could not travel, we could not meet anymore. There was no field research in physical space allowed, neither at home nor abroad. Thus, we were forced to use technology and digitalize our research encounters. Already before Corona, there was a so-called digital turn in social sciences and anthropology. But that turn was before largely related to research in the digital space. Only in 2020, we suddenly had to apply digital methods in most aspects of public and professional communication. And we learned so much. Connecting actors over or across larger distances via online media and digital communication platforms is environmentally friendly. I don't have to take an airplane to come to you. It's relatively cheap, it saves time and can bring people together who would not have met in physical space. So this talk today is an example of this. In our case, digitalization opened up the possibility to also integrate students from other universities in our collaboration. Not only UGM and Freiburg University, but also, as I said already, UI, and later also a university in Argentina were added. The tandems and teams met online. They identified their specific research topics, discussed their research questions and methodological approaches, and then they conducted field research in their own society and culture. So not traveling, not having experiences abroad, but in their social context. In most cases, especially in Indonesia, that was done online as well, because the lockdown was more strict in Indonesia than it was in Germany. They presented together in joint online workshops and later joint hybrid seminars. And all of us enjoyed these new options to overcome geographical barriers and national borders. However, as each of you has probably experienced, there are also considerable challenges to this online communication. On a structural level, there are ongoing digital divides, as we have heard already. Access to devices and reliable internet connectivity are still not equal. Sometimes language is also an obstacle because mostly English is used. Furthermore, online meetings require the students to speak up in front or just one by one in front of a whole group. Not everybody likes that. In general, communication differs considerably online and offline. Communication mediated by a screen does not offer the possibility of non-frontal communication, and all bodily expressions, or most of them, as well as the atmospheric space in which the other is, are missing. This counts even more if you haven't gotten to know each other offline beforehand. Our experience in the tandem model described above is that in purely digital contexts, no emotional bonds, no friendship, and consequently hardly any relations of trust developed between the students. They kept a distance. When the phase began in which the data was to be exchanged and evaluated together online, the lack of trust resulted in the students sometimes withholding their impressions, thoughts, and ultimately also their data. Thus, the online collaboration was much reduced compared to offline collaboration. But, of course, it was better than nothing. The same holds true for the research process and results. Conducting online interviews reduces us to verbal interaction with the research participants. Participant observation and immersion in the field, as described above, is impossible without physical co-presence. This lack of contextual understanding is also crucial in fieldwork. Digital ethnography makes sense when we explore digital space and communication, but when empirical fieldwork turns digital and we reduce the research encounter to verbal interaction on a screen, there is an immense lack of contextual depth. What I would like to suggest is a combination of methods. We can make use of both physical co-presence, offline encounters, and online exchange. In our tandem program, my successor, Michaela Haug, and Professor Puccio Semedi continued to accompany students to Yogyakarta and Freiburg, physically now again, but they use Zoom for hybrid preparation and evaluation seminars. That works pretty well. In online preparation, the expectation to interact with tandem or team partners from another country plays a significant part in the students' motivation to engage in online online preparation seminars. In online evaluation afterwards, after the physical field work, the students know each other already from their joint fieldwork before, and there is a relationship of trust between them so that they dare to share, reflect, and discuss their research results also online. Thinking of possibilities for other projects in schools or universities that strive to overcome geographical or other barriers, I would also advocate for such combinations of digital and physical or online and offline. Let's make the best of both opportunities. Stimulate and inspire your students to collaborate with partners from different backgrounds. Let them develop their own projects with diverse partners and communities, and, if possible, give them the chance to meet them both physically, on excursions or in field schools, and digitally. It's also possible, for instance, to invite research participants to take part online in the students' final presentations of results. This can also be of great relevance for improving intercultural practices in schools, where these practical little projects that school students can do together makes it much easier for both teachers and students to relate to real world or everyday world problems. To come to a conclusion, I think reciprocal collaboration across nationality, culture, class, religion, gender, and colonial heritage enhances education equity as well as awareness of positionality, and, of course, it enriches research results. What I presented today is an exploration of innovative forms of collaboration through ethnographic practice and combinations of offline and online research and teaching. If practiced in flexible constellations of research participants as well as alternately in physical co-presence and digital interaction, it has also the potential to bridge the gap between the academy and various publics. Let's strive to establish research that engages both transnational academic partnership and the non-academic public in knowledge production or in education. Let's do our best to refocus teaching, learning, and research on engaging with research partners and communities to deal with local and global challenges. After all, it's our shared ethical obligation to work towards a more livable future. Thanks for your patience. I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you so much, Professor Judith, for highlighting the role of technology in expanding access to education. So Professor Judith also shared about three types of materials for today's presentation. The first one is about the introduction of international reciprocal funding model, and I think for myself itself, the model is the new outstanding model for overcoming geographic barriers in practical methods for learning and also for conducting research. And the second one is reflection on digitalization experience. She mentioned about the benefits of digitalization and also for the challenges of digitalization itself. So, and then the third one is about the advocation for reciprocity and also flexibility. She encouraged us to motivate or to inspire our students to collaborate with others. And yeah, so they can also learn many things. Aside learning, they can also conduct research together with others. Okay, thank you so much, Professor Judith. So let's move to our final speaker. She is Mrs. Ani Widayati, Doctor of Education, Chairperson of the Indonesian Accounting Educators Professional Alliance or Aliansi Profesi Pendidik Akuntansi Indonesia, APRODIKSI. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Ani.
Waalaikumsalam, Mbak Titi.
Okay, so let me introduce her first. Besides as a chairperson of APRODIKSI, she is currently the Vice Dean for Research, Collaboration, Information System, and Business at the Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. She pursued her master's degree in Educational Research and Evaluation at the University of Negeri Yogyakarta, and later completed her doctoral degree in School of Education at Murdoch University, Australia. Throughout her career as a lecturer, she has focused in the field of accounting education as well as research methodologies in accounting. In addition to her teaching responsibilities, she actively publishes articles on reputable journals, participates in various national and international conferences, writes books, and she is also an active member of professional association organizations. Her email is ani_widayati@uny.ac.id. So for today's occasion, her presentation is titled Community Engagement and Empowerment in Education, Building Strong Partnerships for Sustainable Impact. So Dr. Ani, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mbak Titi. Let me share my slides. I think this one, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, that's the themes that you give me, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, in this occasion, I would like to try to connect campus and community. Even though my educational background is not related to this one, but I believe that all of us, especially in this country, should, we have to, because due to the key performance indicator raised by DICTI, the Higher Education Directorate of Higher Education, so we have to do this, so I'm trying to design what we have done and what, I suggest what we have to do. Okay, why we need connection? We have to start from the students. I believe that students need social support because basically students like us, that we are social beings, we're individuals, so we need support from our environment, from our community, our surrounding community. So that's why we need to be, for example, volunteer. We need to join professional organization. So we will have more connected, yeah, to others, even though it's peers or person that older or younger than us. So I don't think that it's a matter. The second one, we believe that students also need academic support. They need study together, they share experiences, because we believe that everything that we do together will be better, will result better than if we do it by ourselves. I mean, only one person. We need to help each other, so we will become stronger, we become more higher in academic achievement. And the students also need personal and professional development, helping students developing skills, learning to work with others as a team will help them to build their skills needed by the work field. I believe that by joining, an event organization that organize an event or so will help us, will help the students to develop how to be, to work in a collaboration. They will have that kind of skill that won't, that the students won't get if they study by themselves, if they live by themselves. So environment, community will help the students to build their personal and also professional skills. I believe so. And yeah, actually, what's the relationship between campus and community? We believe that campus will reach higher, will get better achievement if campus work together with community, if campus work together with government, if campus work together with industrial sector. So what we believe in our university is between, I'm sorry, this is Indonesian terms, keraton, kampus, keraton, and kampung, kantor. Yeah. Keraton means government, because we have kind of Sultan Palace there. We work together with them as well. Yeah. If we don't have it, then we can collaborate with the government body. Kantor means offices or industrial sectors, and kampung means community. So campus needs to work together with them in order to support the students' learning. Yeah, we believe that learning can be done. Learning can be can be achieved everywhere, not only here at the at uni, in the campus. It's not that small, yeah. So it need to be wider, need to be larger, need to be bigger than that. The resource of learning, improving access to resources. If we have collaboration and improve access to resources, it will make us easier to reach the resource that we want to join us, to work together with us, to make a better understanding for the students, make a better achievement for the students. Parental involvement, it means that also the parents, also the maybe guardians, parents, they will also have opportunities to involve in the study of their kids. Yeah. And the last one is community engagement, or we need community to what we call before to achieve the betterment in our understanding of students, yeah, students understanding academic achievement, yeah. Then what we can do with the community engagement, we can have community-based experiential learning. We do have lots of things in terms of internships or just practical things, related to what they do in their learning. They can practice that in the society and the community, the learning by doing. And the second one is community-based research. It is a research where projects are driven by community priorities. Yes, for example, if a community need to to get a kind of certain skills, so maybe we can do something together with the community related to the skills that they need, and the community is involved throughout the entire process, the entire stages. And also the community-based education. Further, the community-based experiential learning is connected to high-impact practices. So this is what I called before, learning by doing. They can have real-world experiences. This is very common here in Indonesia, and so I believe that it is common everywhere. So students are allowed to experience, not sure, maybe 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. They work in the certain industrial sector. So they experience work that they have to, and also that they are expected to do in the future when they already graduate from the university, just like practicing what they will do in the future in order to be more skilled. Experiencing fieldwork and off-campus activities. We do this as well, not only in internship, but in industrial sectors, but also in other campus or other community, not only industrial sectors. So every students can enter a certain community to study, to practice, to learn what they are doing in order to experience, to find the meaning of what that particular community life is like. And also students are expected to have a certain experiences to study, not only the community and also the industrial sector, but also other campuses, different one for kind of internship, but different, not studying the skills needed, for example, for accounting, doing accounting thingy in that sectors, but maybe going to other campus to learn how to manage some things, how to do other things than accounting things. Combining theoretical and practical based perspective. normally students gain knowledge from the university and also outside by readings, by experiencing. I mean, experience not always something that we do, but also someone's experience that we can read or we can hear is also kind of theoretical. But what I mean by practical is doing it by themselves. Yeah, this is what I said before. Community-based research is a community as partners in all stages of research. It's a collaboration. We do this based on the problems arise in the community. Problems arise. We need to make a priority. Which one will go first? Which one will need what is it? Immediate solve. So yeah, we can do that. Yeah, split the priority and then make which one which. Research projects are driven by community priorities. Yeah, this is what I said, and then before, and then building stronger connection. Yeah, because we work together, because we know that the community needs some things. The community wants us to do something, so we can understand, or we can understand them because we are getting know each other. We are socialized. Yeah, getting socialized. Interact with each other. It will build a strong connection between community members. For example, if I work with Mbak Titi in a certain project, so I will know her because I will interact with her for not only 1 minute or 2 minutes, but maybe how many days or months. So it will make me understand more about her and will build a stronger connection. Yeah, it's just an example. Yeah. Community-based continuing education, it is a lifelong learning. It's not only for campus, it's not only stopped by graduating the student from, for example, bachelor degree. No, it's more than that. We can have a kind of, what is it? Training, yeah, kind of training. Yeah, we can conduct a training courses, short courses, yeah, for them, for those who needs certain skills that we can offer. Of course, it's a kind of professional development training need to be built, and also it's a post-secondary learning. It's yeah, once we finish our degree, it doesn't mean that that's it. It's the end. No, we still can continue by the maybe master degree or doctorate degree. And it's not only that, we still can have a kind of research, kind of activity together. Yeah, we can offer, the university can offer the community to, to continue studying there, continue doing research. Studying doesn't mean to be always in the classroom. Yeah, we still have a kind of discussion, kind of, what is it? Yeah, connection between the community, so that it's a continuing education, not stop only once we graduate. Yeah, we can relate this as well to the key performance indicators issued by the government. Yeah, students are encouraged to have off-campus experiences. There are lots of activities that are now offered by the government. Yeah, for students, yeah, to experience off-campus. Yeah, just like what we say, internship, what we say, yeah, student mobility, but not campus to campus, but campus to community. Yeah. Also, students can practice how to do research with a certain research community as well, not in the campus, but outside the campus, and so on. We still have lots of activities that we can offer to the students to experience the off-campus activities. Yeah, and the faculty members are also encouraged to do community services. Community services, we can do this not only locally, for example, because NY is located in Yogyakarta, we are not burdened only do this in the area of Yogyakarta, but larger, but the extension of this, yeah, we can do community services even outside, even overseas. Yeah, we can do this. Well, not to maybe those who are the was it the citizen of a certain country, yeah, but we can do this to our I mean the citizen of Indonesian citizen who stay there. Yeah, for those who stay there, for example, we have lots of Indonesian who lives in Germany, who lives in UK, who lives in Australia, who lives in America, who lives in Thailand, Malaysia, or everywhere. We can do community services to them, because I believe that there are lots of problems, there are lots of issues, yeah, that the Indonesian persons, the Indonesian citizen experience there, not only far away from home, but they also maybe have some issues, yeah. For example, for those who become a worker, temporary worker, maybe they don't know what to do after they complete their contract, and then they have to go back to Indonesia. They don't know what to do then. So we can have a kind of training certain skills for them, so that they will be more ready to go back to Indonesia. That's just for example, yeah. Universities are encouraged to have collaboration with community. Yeah, not only the faculty members, but also the universities. Yeah, I believe that right now, especially in Indonesia, there's a kind of racing, yeah, because we have a kind of league for each university to overtake, yeah, to to be leading and having higher key performance indicators achievement. Yeah, they will try to achieve more, yeah, more collaboration, more MOUs, more MOAs, yeah, with the community, not only the community here, but just what I said before, with the community outside. Yeah, we can collaborate with the government body, with the Indonesian Embassy, with the Consulate General of Republic of Indonesia, somewhere, yeah, out there, to find out the problems that the people have over there. I mean, the Indonesian people over there, so that we can, do something for them. Yeah. Well, it's not only the engagement, we also need to have a community empowerment. Yeah, this is in education. Yeah, we can have learning experiences by empowerment in education, and we have developing skills needed by work field, becoming more independent learners. Yeah, I believe that students empowerment means that the students need to learn more, need to practice more, yeah, need to do more to become stronger, to become more what is it? If they have to compete each other in the future to get decent jobs, they will they need strong they need strong with it. Yeah, they need a good academic achievement. They need skills that are needed by work field. So we have to do this. We have to carry on some programs, yeah, instead of lecturing, instead of teaching and learning inside the classroom. We need to have other programs that will empower, yeah, the students to become what we expect. Experience not only happens in the classroom, but also outside the classroom, and also outside the campus, even outside the country, yeah, even universe maybe, yeah. Yeah. And what's the dimension? The dimension of the empowerment, personal effectiveness. This is what we need, yeah. The ability to do things oneself. Everyone needs to be able to do things by themselves. So if you learn accounting, so you have to be able to prepare a financial report by yourself. That's a kind of example, yeah, an example to do things by yourself. Critical autonomy, the ability to think oneself. So if you have problems, if you encountered difficulties, so you have ability to think, to find, yeah, to solve that problem, to find the way out, to solve the problem that arose, and ability to work with the group. Yeah, this is coming from the smallest one. I mean, in the classroom, between students, they have to be able to work together in a group in the classroom. So basically, I believe that each lecturers, especially here in Indonesia, I'm not sure, yeah, but what I experienced when I was outside, I mean abroad, studying abroad, I also experienced this as well. So we have a group discussion. We need to present something that is already distributed by the lecturer. Before presenting, we need to work together. We need to work together to create something, to develop something, to maybe produce something. For example, if we study entrepreneurship, yeah. So we have to work in a group. This is the group inside the classroom. Outside the classroom, I believe that the students have kind of what is it? Creativity. So we have students' creativity, even though it's locally or maybe national. Yeah. So we have to compete with other university for the student creativity. So we need also do this in a group. Yeah, we need also work in a group, not only in a classroom, but maybe between study program. Yeah, outside the study program, outside the department, or even outside the campus. Maybe the students of UNY will work together with students from UMS or other universities. Yeah, we need to find the peak. Yeah, we need to find the same atmosphere between them, and it will result in good achievement. Yeah, we have community control for community empowerment principles. Yeah, it means that the community control. Yeah, control what we do. Yeah, control what we conduct in a classroom and outside the classroom and so on. Public sector leadership. Yeah, when we, for example, we join organization, public organization, we actually are implementing, the leadership values, to be a leader, to be an organizer, to be a manager in particular organization. Effective relationship. We need to have effective relationship. The relationship should be should be brought with a certain objectives, guidelines, what we have to do, what we are not allowed to do in order to achieve the objectives, the goals. Improving outcomes, it means that if we do something not only inside the campus but also outside, we have friends, we have broader ideas because we interact with others, we interact with the communities. It will result in better achievement, improving outcomes, improving the skills that we have to build, improving the knowledge, improving the attitude, that we have to conduct. The accountability. We have to be responsible, for what we have done, and also what the students do in the classroom, outside the classroom, what the teachers, what the lecturers do. It is always need a kind of responsibility to conduct, to be done in a manner way. Yeah, next one, we need networking. Why we need networking? Because networking will empower us to share personal and professional growth, professional development. Yeah, if I have a network, building a network to certain community, I will try to absorb, I will try to understand, I will try to gain, I will try to find the benefits, the benefits of interacting each other. Communicate research to wider audiences. This is one of the examples, networking. UMS try to have a network to Malaysia, to Germany, to Aprodixie. So in order to try to communicate the result of the research done by UMS, done by the academic members of the UMS, to communicate the results to others, to wider audience, not only for UMS themselves. Might lead to job offers. Yeah, I believe that if we interact, we have a good interaction to others, if we have network, yeah, it might lead to job offers. Someone might offers us job. Someone might offers us internships, career opportunities, not only for career opportunities for the students, internship for students, but also for the lecturers, because I believe that lecturers also need to develop their skills, knowledge, not only they stop once they graduate and then teaching. No, we still need internship as well, because we need to maintain and also develop our skills. Internship is not only for students but also for lecturers. Yeah, even me myself need to have kind of internship and doing research with the research fellow from other countries, from other universities, connecting individuals to society. The students will try to learn to be one of the member of the society, how to become one of the member of the society. It's not only life in the campus. I believe it's different from life outside the campus. So they will try to learn how to interact with adults, how to interact with professionals, how to interact with maybe someone younger, someone lower, or maybe someone that may be beyond the student's expectation. Yeah, it will make the students become more wise as well, because interacting with different people will make them understand that people are different. Yeah, and we know how to deal with different people. These vital skills needed in networking. So we need to have good personal communication. Yeah, how to communicate well with other people, relationship management, how to maintain, how to keep the relationship. So because good relationships maybe can there is a possibility that good relationship will someday become not a good one anymore, maybe broken by something. Yeah, so we need to maintain, so that we will have good relationship for long time. Professionalism, of course, we need professionalism in networking. Professionalism refers to what the profession should attachment of the profession. A teacher, for example, what should a teacher do, what a teacher not allowed to do. The code of conduct, the good practice of teacher. This kind of profession should always bring those if they interact with each other or interact with other profession. And then partnership, link to other university. This is one of the key performance indicator as well. We need to link to other universities, not only one or two, but a certain number, certain rank of university. But the standard is like that. But I'm not that kind of person who always follow that. I mean, partnership can be with anyone, not only with the university, better than our university, but also with others. I mean, all universities, because we'll never know that maybe we underestimate or we look down on, you know, certain or particular university, but you never know, but that university will help, will give us some benefits. We'll never know. So that is why I'm one of the person who wants to have a partnership with all universities, not only particular certain ones. Linked to business and industries, yeah. We need to have partnership with the businesses or industries. So in order to get our students easier to have internship or practice, yeah, industrial practices, relationship with talented people, not only businesses and industries, but also talented people. Why not? We can collaborate with them. We can invite them to maybe our guest lecture or maybe our partner in research or anything else. Relationship with organizations, not only businesses, industries, but also organizations such as Aprodiksi, for example, yeah, and maybe other professional organization, yeah. And what is the goal actually for the partnerships? Yeah, we need to identify the needs, yeah, the needs of the community. Yeah. If we then know the needs, then we can try to find out how to fulfill the needs, how to meet the needs with what we can do, the skills that we have, the knowledge that we have. Encourage the advancement of main learning outcomes and main priority of campus. What's the vision and mission of the campus? Not only for the students, but also for the community. If it's for the students, then the students will be better, will gain better if we do it with the community, if we do it with the partner. More thriving, more equitable and welcoming communities. Yeah, we need to collaborate with them, with communities, to gain what the objectives, the goals of the institutions. And what's the impacts of having connection with the communities? Of course, we can share the knowledge, we can exchange expertise, we can share the technology, we can exchange resources. We have someone that is good in this field, so this someone can be invited to, you know, the community to, you know, to enlighten them, and vice versa. We can invite them as well to enlighten the students. And what's the result? I believe that if we have a good relationship, if we have community engagement, community empowerment, we will gain betterment, and that betterment will result in the graduates. The graduates will have a chance of jobs. The graduate will be able to play a role in the future career because they have knowledge, they have skills needed. Both graduates and university have the capacity to solve problems, yeah, social problems, economic problems, environmental problems. Yeah, we can do this if we have community engagement. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ani, for those inspiring ideas on empowering communities through education. So Dr. Ani pointed out about the importance of connections, that the relationship between campus and also the community. And she also mentioned about the KPI or key performance indicators of higher education, that we know it's a must here in Indonesia. And also, she highlighted the empowerment in education and including its dimensions. And the last one, she also mentioned about the importance of networking, partnership, and so on. So thank you so much for Dr. Ani. Well, at this point, I would like to open the floor to our audience for questions. So please raise your hand and turn on your camera and also microphone. Please kindly introduce yourself before asking the questions and also mention to whom the questions is addressed. So I would like to have 3 questions first from the participants. Okay, dear participants, do you have any questions? Okay, let's wait for a moment.
No question, good
So,
student.
yeah, so for Professor Judith, Dr. Suhaida, and also Dr. Ani, please wait a moment. Let's see whether the participants have a questions. So in the chat box, there is no question, but I'm sure that one of them or two, maybe or 3. Because as you said before, 3 of you have the same, some points that are related to each other. For the first one, like Dr. Suhaida mentioned about the digital divide that also, being the current situation of a socioeconomic status. And also Professor Judith mentioned that digital divide as one of the challenges or the barriers of digitalizations. And in terms of Dr. Ani also mentioned here regarding the community engagement, where Professor Judith also highlighted the need or the importance of community also in the education. So for the participants, you can raise your hand and mention your name and to whom the question is addressed. Please. Okay, so we have it here. Brilliant Sarama Lutfi.
Okay, I miss.
Yeah, could you please, deliver your questions.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. My name is Briliansa Rama Lutfi from Accounting Education Study Program, Universitas Muhammadiyah, Surakarta. So my question to Professor Judith is, what should the government, teacher, and other stakeholders do so that there are no educational gaps related to the technology? Thank you.
Thank you, Brilliant Sarama Lutfi, for raising the questions. So the question today for Professor Judith first, but it's not only for Professor Judith. If Dr. Suhaida and also Dr. Ani want to add some information later, you are welcome. So for the first, Professor Judith, the question is related to the how the government, the teacher, can do so they can reduce the educational gap.
Should I respond or should I wait, should we wait for other questions?
I think it's better for you to directly respond the question.
Okay, thank you for the question. And as Butitik already said, I think these 3 talks speak perfectly to each other, and they raise very similar issues that all have to do with inequality and with ways to overcome that. And this question, thank you very much, this question refers to technology, but I think what the 3 of us emphasized is that it's not only a practical issue, that it's not only a technological digital divide. This inequality in access to the internet and the possession of better or worse smartphones and things is only one aspect. There are many more aspects that we have to consider and where we have to do our very best to overcome that. And I already tried to elaborate on the different communication structures, and I think this conference is just a part of it, an example for it. I'm sure you would ask many more questions if we would meet in a hall, in a venue where we could see each other, and it would be much more lively and much more open than it is on a screen. But again, I think these days most people have smartphones, and the young generation is much more skilled in using the internet and Zoom and all these platforms today. But it's not for sure that everybody feels comfortable, feels familiar with it. And as I tried to explain, the mutual trust and the openness that we can develop when we meet physically is quite difficult to achieve in online communication. So I think we should also be more creative and more flexible when it comes to online meetings, not only talking and being very serious in our exchange, but using the internet also in more playful ways and in ways that have to do more with our everyday life. So inviting our research participants and partners also via online media to do our very best to share more than only words. That means, for example, showing the room where you are sitting, not using these common screens, but inviting your partner to share the world or the space where you are in. So these are aspects that are going beyond the digital divide in the sense of inequality in respect to access to the internet or devices. We also should do more and stimulate more the digital literacy in the sense that we are creative to overcome this reduction to verbal and rational exchange, and especially when it comes to communication between campus and community, as Buani was so beautifully talking about. I think it's important to create a connection to people that is more lively. That if we do not have the chance to meet physically, which is still the best in my perspective, but if we don't have that chance, then we should be more open to use the internet and the digital platforms in a way that is not too serious and not too sober and not too academic, not too rational only. So that's another digital divide that I see, apart from the material inequality that of course still exists, and that is quite crucial when we think of urban-rural connections and these things. But apart from that, there is also a digital communication divide. We tend to be much more human and much more open when we meet physically, and we all have to learn from the younger generation, of course, also to develop new methods of online communication, which is still, in my view, an important device or an important aspect to combine, if possible, with co-presence, with physical meetings, with face-to-face contact. So this is from my side, but perhaps Bu Ani and Bu Suhaida have also interventions in that respect.
Okay, thank you, Professor Judith. And now for Dr. Ani and Dr. Suhaida, could you please add some information regarding the one that Professor Judith also mentioned before?
Me? Is it?
Yeah,
Thank you
so
very
Dr.
much.
Ani first. It's okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prof. Judith. Okay, yeah. We have community engagement, then why not? We can use this to reduce the gap, to reduce the inequity between schools or between locals, between, maybe Jogja. You can compare Jogja from maybe, the east part of Indonesia, for example, yeah, like that. So we can empower the community. Yeah, we can use the the role of the parents, the role of the school committee, yeah, komite sekolah, school committee. Yeah, we can also use the local community, the stakeholder from the local community to support the education, not only with the thoughts, but also the financial, for example, for for preparing the technology that Prof. Judith mentioned before. We need money for that, right? So parents, local community, stakeholders, local stakeholders can support financially for buying, for supporting the schools with the technology needed, so that they won't be left behind. Yeah, it will be comparable from one local, from one a province, other province, from one city, from one town to other town. So I believe that we can do this. Also, the continuing education, we still can't have kind of parenting education. Yeah, for enlighten parents that the education is needed, so that they will encourage their kids to study higher, not only SMA, but also until, doctorate degree. Yeah, so I believe that we still can do this. And also the government, what they can do, the government can provide facilities, the government can provide even scholarship for those who are not able to continue their study because of financial restriction. So they still can do that. Government can support this. So I believe that there are lots of ways, do by the government, can be done by the government, the parents, the community, and also the stakeholders to, to reduce the gap of education in Indonesia. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ani. So, as the first Professor Judith mentioned that for overcoming the the case that how teacher, government, and stakeholders can do so to reduce the educational gaps, especially in digitalization aspect. Professor Judith mentioned about we can also stimulate more digital literacy and the connection and campus community. And for the second, Dr. Ani also mentioned that it's about the partnership among others. Like it's not only for the government, but also the parents and the community also. They can also support the financial aspect, and the parents can have a better education to build awareness that the education is not only for children, for their children until their senior high school, but in higher level, like for higher education institution. Also, the last one from Dr. Suhaida, could you please also add some information in your opinion or based on your expertise, please?
Please repeat the question posed by the audience.
Yes.
Because I
So,
cannot.
yeah. So, Dr. Suhaida, the participants asked about how could teacher, government, and also stakeholders reduce the educational gaps in terms in the digitalization era. Yeah, so there is no more gaps in the future. So what is the strategy? Thank you.
Specifically related to digital, right?
Yes.
Okay. In terms, maybe we at the school level, okay. Actually, when it's about the policy, okay, it is important the government to really have the data, the specific data required to in terms of when they want to implement any policy related to how they will use the technology to reduce the disparity. Okay, the data in terms of usually the first is about the physical facility related to the internet. Okay, the facility that each school can afford. Okay, so that so the government can plan and allocate the resources. Okay, specific. Okay, which specific school that really need the facility, and also and then is require the collaboration with maybe the company, the business, okay, as CSR, for example, okay. Then another is, of course, I agree, actually, and in terms of teacher training, okay, so it should be start with the data, okay, the need analysis and the specific teacher that need the training related to the digital. And related to the student itself, okay. Also need to get the data related to the student in terms of the competency, their competency and their access, okay, to the technology, including at home, okay, in school and at home. And maybe if at the university level, okay, the surrounding of the university also, because we cannot assume that all university have the same capacity to provide the physical facility, and of course also about the competency. And I think that's all I can. The conclusion is, in terms of policy, it need to be evidence based. Okay, to make a decision, to make a planning, and of course, as I mentioned, in terms of the implementation, because it not just okay, we launch the program, any project, then that's it. Okay. And then there has to be followed by the evaluation, whatever. I think Nathaniel is no better is there.
Yeah,
Because
thank
it's your
you.
area, right? Evaluation. Okay.
Thank you so much for Dr. Suhaida. Dr. Suhaida highlighted about the need of specific data about, like, for example, the physical facility in school itself, so it can support more, digital for education. And the require for the CSR, for corporate social responsibility also to support this. And the last one is the need of the teacher training. They also need for specific data. So here, okay, Professor Judith. Yeah. Yes, please.
Excuse me for,
Yeah.
for
Yes.
perhaps repeating, but I think this is a very important point that I would like to emphasize once more. My message basically was that digital literacy or digital training is not only a matter of technology and of access to the internet. My story that I tried to share with you was about students who had access to the internet, both in Indonesia and in Argentina, but who were very reluctant to conduct research together only online. So my message is perhaps very old-fashioned because I'm a senior already. My message is that whenever possible, we should combine offline and online. We should stick to our old school real world encounters and combine that with online encounters and meetings and as I said, perhaps preparation and evaluation. So digital literacy does not mean that we transfer everything to the digital world. I think digital literacy is a way of being aware of the pros and cons, of the advantages and limits and challenges of both ways to interact. So the physical, the co-presence, of course, when it comes to long distances, and it's sometimes not feasible, but the digital sometimes is too much reduced to the verbal. So my basic message is that we should be more aware of the limits and of the opportunities that we have in both dimensions. Not only thinking of material and technical and practical aspects, but also thinking of social aspects, of communicative aspects, and of contexts. Because for me as an anthropologist, context is so crucial in everything we are doing. So thank you for this opportunity to clarify that.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Professor Judith, for your clarification that we need to combine both online and also offline. And digital literacy is not the only one, the matter one. It's not the matter one. Okay. So thank you, Professor Judith. So unfortunately, our time for today's discussion is coming to an end. So this is the end of the panel session. Thank you very much, Professor Judith, Dr. Suhaida, and also Dr. Ani for your time. I want to express my heartfelt thanks to you all and for your insightful presentation and also for thoughtful discussion. So for other participants, I also want to thank all of you for your active participation and also for the questions. As we move forward in our efforts to achieve education equity, let us continue to reflect on the ideas shared by our speakers today and consider how we can apply them in our own context to empower learners and also communities around the world. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of the conference. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mrs. Dani Evitasari, over to you.
Thank you very much for the speakers for their informative and insightful presentation. Thank you very much, Ms. Titi Ulfatun, Master of Education. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today's conference. Finally, on behalf of the committee, I would like to express my appreciation to all the speakers, guests, and participants for taking time out of your busy duties to attend this conference.
We'll have the parallel session afterward at 4:15 p.m. So let's close this conference first by reciting Abdallah together. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Good afternoon. See ya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
May I have your attention, please? We would like to take a picture for all the participants and also for all the speakers. Would you please turn? So I will count up the three and please give your smiles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There are 4 pages here. 1, 2, 3. The third one, 1, 2, 3. And then the last one, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. So, for distinguished speakers, yeah, thank you very much for your participation and also for your attendance. Yeah, you can leave the conference as we want to continue for parallel session. So nice to meet you, Professor Didit, Dr. Susaida, and also Dr. Anna. Thank you. Good afternoon. So for the participants and also for the presenters, there are some announcements for you. As it has been mentioned before, that we would like to continue our conference for parallelization. But before that, let me read the rules for parallelization. So the parallelization will start at 4:15. 4:15. So the rules for parallelization of the Third International Conference on Education, Innovation, and Social Science 2024 are as follows. First, the registered presenters should check the presentation schedules, room and also the session, and join the attention Zoom link in the conference program. The second one, the presenters have quality presenters name, so kindly check the conference program. Next, before joining the parallel Zoom, the presenters should link their listening using the code provided by the committee for the submission. The house in this term, in this case, is the PIC parallel room, will not admit those whose username do not use the code from the community. The house introduces the presenters, keeps the time for the presentation, and facilitates the discussion. All the presenters must be ready of the presentation, including the file, and have to make sure that you have a good connection for your internet. The presenters should prepare no more than 10 slides of PowerPoint for presentation. And for each paper, it will take 10 minutes for presentation and followed by Q&A session after 4 papers are presented. So it's not one paper, one question and answer. After 4 papers are presented. Next, the host will remind the time size, the last minute, and also the last minute of the presentation through the oral reminder or in the chat box. The host will cut the presentation if the time is up, and the
atau